Well, Mr. Sergius Ogun, I just want to say that you are an inspiration. And it is said that we all want to change in the community, we want to change in the society, but what is most difficult is to be the change that we want to see in the society by taking the lead. A lot of people don't want to take the lead, and people like you are achievers. So today I am happy to say that on Parrot Show, you are sitting on Parrot Show as one of the achievers today, and for everything that you have done, all I can say is congratulations.
Thank you very much.
One question I want to ask you is, what does community mean to you?
Well, thank you for this. In Africa, we live communal life. We live together as a community. In Africa, we have extended families. So if you have, like I have, a wife and 2 kids, I probably have enough to take care of them for the rest of my life. But I will not be a happy man if my uncle is out there, cannot even take 2 square meals in a day. So because we live communal life in Africa, every person is his brother's keeper. So if you live, there's a saying that the rich are not sleeping because the poor are awake. So if you take this into consideration, that everybody around you is a community, and you need to reach out to them. And then even if you can take 3 square meals, and you can support that your neighbor, that brother, that sister, that man, that woman in the community to take 2 square meals, beside the fact that God will bless you, you would have improved on their lives. So for me, in Africa, we live a communal life. We live in communities. And that's what has brought us together, has kept us together till now. And we're not going to lose that to any kind of life, maybe in Europe or in the Western world, when people do not want to be bothered. You have to be bothered. Show that love. Because today, the day you sleep and nobody comes to knock your door, it might be that day that you have crossed over to meet your Creator. So when we live together in a community as brothers and sisters, you are in each other's houses, as we do here. We share together the little that we have. Yeah. And then it makes us a better people.
Yeah. Because empowerment of the community is the most important thing that can happen on earth.
True.
Even when we say that maybe in Europe or America, that they don't want to be bothered, I tell you, the most important aspect of life to Europeans or the Americans is the community. Once it comes to what happens to their community, what gives them that identity of who they are, they don't joke with it.
True.
And that's what we should also do in Africa, most especially in Nigeria. Community should be the word. We grow up together. You know my father. He knows your mother. He knows my brother. Like someone just told me here, calling me his father's brother, and I said, why are you calling me? I don't know you. But eventually, there was a brief introduction, and I found out that he's my mother's brother. You know, so we are all one, and we are coming from the same place. So the community.
Can I just add to that? Some years ago, we went home for Christmas, and they were throwing fireworks in our compound in the village. And because it was the dry season, Harmattan season, so the lawn, we have a lawn somewhere in the garden, because the grass there was dry. Somebody threw something and it caught fire. That day, as it turned out, they didn't pump water. And this was about past 1 a.m. to 2 a.m. There was a jerrycan of petrol somewhere. I didn't even know. And there was fire raging. There was no water in the house. Everybody in the community came out, and I don't know how they put out that fire. Then there was a jerrycan of petrol. I saw it there, but didn't know what was there. A young man ran into that fire and brought it out. What did he do? Putting his life on the line for everyone there. For me, that coming together and being there for one another is not enable. Nobody can take that away from us in Africa. And what I would advise is, let's go back to where we came from. and be your brother's keeper.
Well, I definitely hope that we do that. So is the challenge, viewers, that Barrister Sergius Oseasochie Ogun is throwing out to you, that we should go back to where we are coming from. We should be our brother's keeper, and that's all about community, because his guiding principles in life is the empowerment of the community. Because if you have a community that is empowered, and I have a community that is empowered, then we have a much more focused country. The problems I believe we're having in our country is the fact that people in the different communities have been neglected for so long. And either the government or individuals that can do it, individuals that God has blessed, can at least reach out a helping hand to the less privileged. And I believe that that is what the heart of God, the man who is inspiring a lot of people, that is what he is doing. Barrister Ogun, one question I would want to ask you again is, what do you think about the youths?
Oh, my pastor, Pastor Chris Yakulome, says, every child is your child. And he also said something about the children hawking today, selling water and sleeping under the bridges. They might be 10 years today, 10 years old today. Add another 15 years to that. If nothing is done to these ones, if you add 15 years to that, they will be 25 years. But when they are 25 years old, they might be the ones carrying guns around and harassing people. So whatever little help you can render to these ones, do it. I think the youths have been neglected. There's no plan for them. And the earlier we begin to reach out to them, talk to them, engage them, and assist them in any little way we can, the better for everybody. There's Boko Haram today, there's militancy today, tomorrow it could even be worse.
Yeah.
So I think the earlier we do something about all this, talk to the youths, engage them. They have a whole lot of ideas in their head. Sit them down, talk to them, and whatever can be done for them should be done for them. And I think it should be done like yesterday.
I completely agree with you that the youth should not be used as political weapons. We should realize that our future lies in the hands of the youth.
True.
Whichever way we prepare the youth for the task ahead is the way we will find our country in years to come. If they become killers, that's what we are going to have. If they become educationally empowered, that's what we are going to have. We have a much more positive and a country that everyone will be happy to live in. So I completely agree with you.
And if I can just add, when we go out to schools to distribute these notebooks, in those primary school pupils, I see presidents, I see first ladies, I see ministers. Even in the secondary school, same thing. I see future presidents of this country. I see ministers and I see senators. So that's why I strongly believe if we go out there and let them know it's not all bad. At times I tell them this is where I'm coming from. It doesn't have to be that somebody is doing this for you. It must be that the person must be from a wealthy family, or he's an armed robber, he's just trying to pacify God. This is my background. If you put your head down and study your books, you can get there.
Yeah. I hope that they know that, because sometimes I see children now, and I remember the story of Michelle Obama, who there was a case of parents not wanting their daughter to stay in the same room with Michelle, all because, she was black. But today, they tell the story of how they missed out of their child being one of the best friends of Michelle.
Exactly.
So it is because the young ones, you don't know where they are going. You know where you are going, you know where you have been, you know how far you can go now. But the children, you don't know. The sky is their limit.
Exactly.
So president, prime minister is what we're saying in children. And I believe that the youth, whosoever can do it, either the government, either private individuals, should encourage the youth, should empower the youth to grow up and become the pride of the nation. And I'm happy that people like you are doing their best to realize that.
Thank you.
Tell me, what has disappointed you the most in your life as a young man, yes?
I am hardly disappointed by anything because I grew up not having any expectation of anybody doing anything for me. I thank God I'm from a wonderful family. Like I told you, when my dad died, I was barely 11, and how I went to the north to live with my uncle, my mom's elder brother. And again, there was a community life with my cousins there, and everybody would live together as one. There was no difference between us. So coming from this kind of background, I do not have any expectation of anybody doing anything for me. So whatever anybody does for me is extra. I take it as extra. Yes, I would have said if there's any disappointment is in the government, but I do not want to go there. Yeah, because criticizing the government will not do anything. That's why I thank God for this initiative of the foundation to be able to contribute your own little quota to the community.
All right, okay. Your most satisfied experience in life?
It's just doing the work of God, really. I have a wonderful wife who's so supportive. And when I am with my wife and my kids and we're in church worshiping God, it's the best moment for me.
I know that you're making the difference every day. You are being the change that you want to see in the society. But if you have the opportunity today, what is that one thing?
I would like to have free education, free healthcare, and maybe set up an interest-free bank for the communities so that these poor people, we call poor, can go to those banks, take a facility and expand their farms and not go with cutlasses and hoes. And then, like I said, free education for everybody. That is very important for every child.
Well, Barrister, the rate you are going, I can assure you that you get there.
Thank you.
And, you know, not too long from now, you would have achieved all these dreams that you're already fulfilling dreams. And the ones that you're still hoping will come to pass, I can tell you they will come to pass at the rate you're going.
Amen.
All right. And what's your best, what kind of food do you like?
Oof. I used to like pounded yam and vegetable soup, but now I'm watching my weight. So it's probably, I don't know if I like anything anymore. They say eat vegetable and eat salad. Yeah, maybe for the sake of my health. I don't have health issues, but they say, look, watch your weight. So for now, that will be my best food.
When you want to spoil yourself?
Yeah, probably go to pounded yam and vegetable and dry fish.
Yeah, that's the African food.
Yes.
When we are eating pounded yam, we're at home.
True.
I know. And your hobbies? What are your hobbies?
Well, for now, it's just I don't know if it's a hobby. It's just worshiping God. I would have loved to play golf if I can create the time. But as it is right now, the oil industry is very tight. The work is 24 hours because the rigs do not shut down. Whether it's rainy, whether it's sunny, it does not shut down. So the work is 24 hours. So you expect to work all through the day. How about if I can create the time, I probably would love to play golf. But I'm so engaged in church activities these days that I can say doing the work of God is more of a hobby to me now than any other thing.
Okay, that's good. And finally, Barrister Sergius Oseasochie Ogun, where do you see the SOOF Foundation in the next 5 to 10 years?
By the grace of God, in the next 5-10 years, this foundation will run itself. Like I mentioned, we have wonderful people behind the foundation. God is only using me as a tool to coordinate them. There was just a desire in my heart, and people I echoed this to friends, and they took it on. To the glory of God, in the next 5-10 years, I see this foundation running itself with little or no contribution from me. And like I said, I will be very glad to reach out to more communities.
Okay. Well, Barrister, it has been interesting talking to you. It's been educative, it's been informative, and it has been empowering. And I must say thank you very much for the job that you're doing. I wish that you have the power, and God gives you the power to continue, and that you have the support of your community, and whosoever is watching this program, national and internationally, that has the passion, the interest to touch the lives of the less privileged, that they would come and support in whichever way they can. That's what is most important.
True.
So thank you so much for speaking to us. Well, viewers, we are gradually coming to the end of the show. We've been talking to Barrister Sergius Oseasochie Ogun. He is the founder of the Sergius Oseasochie Ogun Foundation, SOOF. He's an inspiration, he's an achiever, he's been the change that he wants to see in the community. And that's what we expect and we want from people who God has blessed. A lot of us there, we have the means to do it. And we should just come out and put a smile on people's faces. They are out there, they are waiting for you, they are begging. And sometimes the people you value the most are people you don't ask for anything, and who out of their own conviction in life just come out to say, well, I think I know what you want, and I think I can be your sunshine, I can be your light today. And that's what Barrister Sergius Oseasochie is doing. He's been the change everywhere he goes, at work and in his community. So why can't we be the same? On that note, we come to the end of the show. And until next week, when we come your way again, I just want to say that everything is possible and that you can be the change that you want to see in the community. Thank you and God bless.
Yeah, I say thank you to them, and I will say they keep praying for us. And when we work together, we will get there. And thank you for having me today.